In the gentle embrace of the evening, where the world slows down to whisper sweet nothings to the moon, there lies a village. Wealden by name, where seasons don't just change. They perform a delicate ballet, occasionally charmingly tripping over their feet. Hello dear listener, this is Naomi, welcoming you to Tranquil Nighttime Tales, your sanctuary of stories where each tale is a thread in the quilt of nightly comfort we weave together. Tonight, we meander through the quaint lanes of Wealden, where midsummer suns linger in a lazy yawn across the sky and where the winter chill is more an excuse for a warm hug from the bonfire than a bother. Here, the trees gossip with the breezy winds, and the flowers don their best colors to outshine one another, all in good jest. So, tuck in and let the soothing timbre of my voice guide you through a tapestry of tales from Wealden, where every season brings its flavor of gentle laughter and warmth. If our stories tonight bring a smile to your lips or a sigh of contentment, do consider subscribing to Tranquil Nighttime Tales and hit that thumbs up. New stories unfold here every Monday and Friday, each spun with care and a touch of whimsy to escort you into the realm of dreams. And should the Sandman be playing hard to get, even after our journey through Wealden, worry not. We've tucked away in the description below, just as subtly as a secret pocket in a well-loved quilt, links to more tips and gadgets designed to ease you into slumber's sweet embrace. Now, with Naomi as your guide, let's set off into the heart of Wealden, where the seasons themselves are part of the village's charm, a reminder that life, in all its hues, is a story worth telling and worth telling with a smile. Welcome to Tranquil Nighttime Tales. Shall we begin? Chapter 1: The Tapestry of Beginnings. In the dappled light of dusk, the quaint English village of Wealden whispered tales not with words but with threads that bound the village's heart to a quilt known as the Quilt of Fortunes. This quilt was a mosaic of lives lived, lessons learned, and loves cherished, spanning across generations and encapsulated within the cottage walls with the ivy-clad facade, home to Abigail Hemsley. Abigail, a woman whose age was betrayed only by the wisdom in her eyes and the silver in her hair, was the latest in a long line of Hemsleys to whom the quilt's legacy had been bequeathed. The quilt, an heirloom of immeasurable sentimental worth, was as much a member of the Hemsley household as Abigail herself. The first chapter of the quilt's story began with a patch of fabric as soft and serene as the early morning sky. The blue was not the triumphant azure of a midday summer sky but the gentle hue of dawn, the color that promises a fresh start. At the heart of this patch was a daisy, its white petals and sunlit center embroidered with meticulous care by Eleanor Hemsley, Abigail's ancestor, whose legacy was as enduring as the quilt she began. In her youth, Eleanor had seen the village through a season of great adversity. The drought that year had been relentless, sparing neither crop nor creature. The town, with its livelihood precariously hinged on the yield of the land, seemed to wither as the earth beneath it cracked and cried for water. Eleanor, however, found solace in her needlework, her stitches a silent mantra of hope. Abigail would often recount the story as she sat in her cozy armchair by the fireside, a circle of eager faces around her, drinking in every word. With the gentle cadence of her voice, she painted a picture of Eleanor, rising with the first bird's song, to tend to her garden with unwavering faith. Eleanor's spirit refused to falter even as the earth beneath her feet protested with dry, barren gasps. And then, like a miracle etched in the annals of Wealden's history, a daisy bloomed. It was a solitary white bloom, its petals unfurling defiantly against the backdrop of a thirsty garden. This daisy was a symbol, a testament to the village's unyielding spirit, and it inspired Eleanor to begin the quilt. The patch was a square of hope, a declaration that even the harshest drought ends and perseverance is rewarded. Abigail's storytelling would transform the room, the flickering fire casting dancing shadows that mimicked the villagers of yore rallying around Eleanor's daisy. The tale was magic, and as the night grew more profound and the stars took their posts in the heavens, a tranquil peace settled over the cottage. The fire's warm glow accentuated the quilt's colors, the patches each a chapter of history, joy, sorrow, and triumph. With hands that mirrored Eleanor's skill and tenderness, Abigail continued to add to the quilt, her needle dipping in and out of the fabric, each stitch a word, a breath, a memory. As the children's eyelids grew heavy with the weight of sleep, dreams of white daisies took root in their minds. They wandered through fields where the flowers were as numerous as the stars above, each blossom a gentle reminder of the village's legacy of resilience. Abigail would tuck the little ones into their beds, her soft kisses on their foreheads as blessings. The quilt remained in the living room, a silent guardian watching over the village as it slept, its story safe within the seams and folds. And there, in the quiet of the night, with only the soft crackle of the dying embers for company, Abigail added yet another patch to the quilt. This new square began another story, another chapter of life in Wealden, a tale yet to be told, but already woven into the fabric of tomorrow. Much like the village it adorned, the Quilt of Fortunes was alive, a living tapestry of past and present, ever-growing, ever-enduring, with each stitch a symbol of the hope and resilience that defined Wealden. The story of the daisy patch was the quilt's genesis, but it was merely the first of many, each with its voice, waiting for the right moment to be heard. Chapter 2: The Harvest Moon Patch. The harvest moon had always been a harbinger of culmination and plenty in Wealden, a village that danced to the rhythm of the seasons. But in the year following the Great Drought, the harvest moon rose with exceptional brilliance, as if reflecting the villagers' collective sigh of relief and unspoken hopes for the future. Charlotte, Eleanor's daughter, had been a young woman of 20 when the drought had besieged Wealden. With steadfast resolve, she had watched her mother imbue hope into their neighbors' hearts with the inception of the Quilt of Fortunes. Now, with the bounty that spilled from the earth, it was Charlotte's turn to add her narrative to the quilt. The patch she chose was a deep, golden yellow, its hue rivaling the moon's splendor that had presided over their harvest. The fabric was rich satin, catching the light and holding it almost magically, echoing how the village had held onto hope in its darkest hour. Charlotte stitched a cornucopia at the center of her patch, symbolizing nature's generosity. With every thread, she captured the essence of the harvest, the golden wheat that swayed in the wind like waves on a sunlit sea, the apples that blushed the sunset color, and the grapes that hid the laughter of wine within their skins. The meticulous embroidery was more than decoration, it was a visual symphony of gratitude that resonated with the hearts of those who gazed upon it. Abigail, with a voice that seemed to weave the very air into a tapestry of sound, would recount the story of the Harvest Moon Festival to her captive audience. Her narrative painted the village square alive with the hustle of preparation, the sweet air with baking and mulling aromas, and the vibrant chatter of a community amid celebration. She described the laden tables, where pumpkin pies sat proudly next to jars of freshly made jams and jellies, where the bread was thick and crusty, ready to be torn and shared. Abigail's words brought to life the images of villagers linking arms and forming circles, their movements in tune with the lively jigs and reels played by the musicians, the notes of the fiddle rising high into the crisp autumn air. Charlotte's patch on the quilt symbolizes this time of joyful abundance. The villagers would remember how, under the bright watch of the harvest moon, they found unity and strength, not just in the food that sustained their bodies but in the camaraderie that nourished their souls. Abigail would often conclude the evening's storytelling as the room dimmed, save for the soft glow of the fireplace. The children, lulled by the tales of plenty and the soft, warm light, would nestle into their blankets, their dreams seeded with visions of golden fields and moonlit dances. The quilt, now draped over the back of a chair or laid carefully on the couch, remained a steadfast emblem of the village's journey through time. The harvest moon patch was a woven reminder that life's most significant gifts often came after its greatest trials. It was a beacon of the past's riches, offering warmth and wisdom to the present and extending hope into the future. And as night settled fully upon Wealden, with only the glow of the embers and the moon to light the night, Abigail would sit a while longer, her fingers skillfully moving through her latest addition to the quilt. In this quiet hour, she stitched the story of the present into the quilt, a story that one day would be recounted just as fondly as the tales of the harvest moon and the daisy that had defied the drought before it. Each thread was a connection, a lifeline from the past to the future, woven into the quilt that held the essence of Wealden and its people. Chapter 3: The Winter Hearth Patch. In the quaint village of Wealden, where every season painted its own story across the canvas of the land, winter held a charm all its own. As the final autumn leaves descended to the earth, forming a carpet of amber and gold, the air turned crisp, whispering the arrival of winter's embrace. This was a time for gathering close, for sharing tales by the fire's glow, a tradition that wove the community together in a tapestry of warmth and camaraderie. Among the villagers, Thomas, the village blacksmith, stood as a beacon of literal and metaphorical warmth. With its ever-burning fire, his forge became a haven for those seeking respite from the chill, where the heat of the flames and the warmth of shared stories kept the cold at bay. Thomas, known for his robust laughter and the gentle clanging of his hammer against the anvil, had always felt a deep connection to the winter months. It was when his forge became more than just a place of work, it transformed into a gathering spot for the villagers, a communal hearth where warmth was shared as freely as the latest gossip or the tales of yesteryears. Inspired by these gatherings, Thomas contributed his piece to the Quilt of Fortunes, a tribute to the winter gatherings that brought the village together. He chose a fabric that mirrored the midnight winter sky, a deep blue that seemed almost alive with the promise of the unseen sun. Upon this fabric, he embroidered a scene that captured the essence of the winter gatherings, the large, roaring bonfire, with its flames of orange and yellow dancing against the night, casting a warm glow on the faces of those who encircled it. The villagers were depicted in various states of engagement, some with their hands outstretched to the fire, others deep in conversation, their laughter captured in the stitches that brought their figures to life. As winter deepened its hold on Wealden, the villagers became more drawn to Thomas's forge. It was here, amidst the orange glow of the fire and the comforting weight of shared blankets, that the cold months were made bearable. Stories flowed as freely as the ale, tales of winters past, snow so deep they reached the windowsills, and of the warmth that always found its way back to Wealden, no matter how fierce the cold. On one freezing evening, when the frost painted lace patterns on the windows, the villagers gathered around Thomas's fire, the air rich with the scent of burning wood and the undercurrent of anticipation for the stories that would unfold. Then, Abigail began to recount the tale of Thomas's winter's embrace patch with her voice as soothing as the warmth that enveloped them. She spoke of the significance of the gathering, of the fire as a symbol of the village's enduring spirit, a light that shone brightly even in the depth of winter's chill. The patch, with its vivid depiction of the bonfire and the villagers, became a testament to the warmth of human connection, to the laughter and stories that wove through the cold air, binding the community together. Through Abigail's storytelling, the essence of Thomas's patch came alive, a reminder of the beauty in the coldest season, the warmth that sprang from the fire, and the hearts of those who shared its glow. It was a celebration of winter in Wealden, of the gatherings that illuminated the darkest nights and of the quilt that captured the seasons of the village in stitches and fabric. As the evening waned and the fire dwindled to embers, the villagers made their way home, their steps lightened by the warmth they carried within. The Quilt of Fortunes, enriched by Thomas's winter's embrace patch, lay as a testament to the enduring warmth of Wealden's winters, a vibrant mosaic of life in the village, woven through with the laughter, the stories, and the shared warmth that defined the season. With each winter gathering, the quilt grew not just in size but in meaning, capturing the essence of Wealden's winters, a season of cold that was met with the warmth of community, of shared moments that chased away the chill, weaving the fabric of the village tighter with every story told by the fire's glow. Chapter 4: The Spring Renewal Patch. As winter's icy grip gradually loosened, giving way to the tender caresses of spring, the village of Wealden stirred with an air of rejuvenation. This was a time when nature herself seemed to stretch and yawn, awakening from her slumber with a symphony of budding flowers and the cheerful chatter of returning birds. Amidst this backdrop of renewal, Amelia, whose spirit was as vibrant as the spring meadows and who carried the season's freshness in her every step, felt a surge of inspiration. Known for her keen observation of nature's subtleties and deep-seated belief in the promise of new beginnings, Amelia saw spring as a canvas upon which the village could paint its hopes and dreams for the coming year. With this vision in mind, Amelia chose a fabric mirrored the lush green of new leaves, a symbol of life's perpetual renewal. Upon this canvas, she embroidered a tableau that captured the essence of spring's awakening in Wealden, a meadow alive with the hues of wildflowers under a sky so clear and blue it promised endless possibilities. At the heart of this scene, she placed the villagers as spectators of this rebirth and active participants in the dance of life. Men, women, and children were depicted tending to the gardens and fields, their movements a testament to the village's collective endeavor to nurture the earth, ensuring its bounty for generations to come. Central to her design was a child, tenderly planting a sapling, embodying the hope and growth spring brings. As the final remnants of frost vanished and the earth softened under the warm embrace of the sun, Wealden transformed. The communal garden, a mosaic of aspirations and shared labor, became a focal point of activity. Here, under the watchful eye of the spring sun, villagers of all ages congregated with a shared purpose: to sow, to plant, and to dream. This collective rite of passage, undertaken each spring, was not just about cultivating the land, it was about strengthening the community's bonds and laying down the roots of future prosperity. On a day when the air was perfumed with the scent of fresh earth and budding blooms, the communal spirit of Wealden was palpable. Laughter and song filled the garden as hands worked the soil, planting seeds that would soon sprout into a verdant testament to the village's labor. Children, their cheeks flushed with the day's excitement, dashed between the rows, their joy a living embodiment of spring's exuberance. Watching this scene, Amelia felt a deep sense of connection to her fellow villagers and the cycles of nature that governed their lives. In the evening, as the village gathered to share the fruits of their early labors, Abigail, with her voice carrying the promise of spring, began to recount the tale woven into Amelia's spring renewal patch. She spoke of the patch as a vibrant declaration of the season's arrival, of the community's united efforts to greet the new year with open arms and hopeful hearts. The child at the center of Amelia's design, nurturing a young sapling, became a poignant symbol of the village's commitment to the future, to nurturing both land and community. Through Abigail's storytelling, the spring renewal patch blossomed into a narrative that resonated deeply with the villagers. It was a celebration of their connection to the earth, the shared joys of planting and growth, and the deep, sustaining hope that defined the essence of spring. The communal garden, with its burgeoning promise, stood as a testament to Wealden's resilience to the cycles of life that inspired and nurtured the community through each season. As the story of the spring renewal patch unfolded, the villagers saw in its narrative a reflection of their commitment to the village and each other, a reaffirmation of the importance of their collective efforts and the joy found in shared moments of renewal and growth. It was a gentle reminder that spring, with all its beauty and promise, was a time for coming together, nurturing the seeds of tomorrow, and celebrating the enduring cycle of life that bound them all. With the addition of Amelia's patch, the Quilt of Fortunes grew richer, capturing the essence of spring in Wealden. The quilt, now a tapestry of the village's life through the seasons, stood as a testament to the community's spirit, a vibrant mosaic of hope, labor, and shared celebration, woven through with the laughter, the stories, and the collective dreams of a future nurtured with care and love. As the villagers returned to their homes, hearts light with the promise of spring, the quilt remained a vivid emblem of the season's beauty and the enduring strength of the bonds that held Wealden together through every season, every challenge, and every joy, weaving the fabric of the community tighter with each passing year. Chapter 5: The River's Journey Patch. In the verdant embrace of Wealden, spring turning gently into summer, the village found its rhythm and heartbeat echoed in the meanderings of the river that coursed through the valley. This river, a ribbon of life cradled by the land, mirrored the sky above in its depths and sang the songs of the earth through its flow. James, whose life had been deeply entwined with the river's currents and whispers, felt a profound connection to this waterway. It was this bond, this intimate dialogue with nature, that inspired him to add his narrative to the Quilt of Fortunes. James selected a piece of fabric that seemed to capture the essence of the river under the full embrace of the noon sun. This fabric, imbued with the deep blues of the river's heart and the sparkling lights of the sun's reflection, served as a canvas for his story. With meticulous care, he embroidered the river's path, from its humble beginnings in the distant hills, meandering through the valley, to its final crescendo as it met the sea. The silver and gold threads intertwined to depict the dance of light on water, which spoke of the river's many moods and faces. Around the boat, the banks of the river came to life under James's skilled hands. Greens of every shade told tales of the grasses and trees that drank from the river's bounty, while bursts of color spoke of the wildflowers that adorned its edges like jewels. The boat, a simple vessel adrift in the current, carried a solitary figure, representing the journey every soul undertakes, guided by the unseen currents of life. As the days lengthened and the air grew warm with the promise of summer, Abigail took up the tale of the river's journey patch. Her storytelling, a cherished tradition, drew the village together as the evening shadows lengthened. Her voice, carrying the weight and wisdom of generations, wove a narrative that transcended the mere depiction of a river. She spoke of the river as a companion and witness to the village's history, its joys and sorrows, its seasons of bounty and need. She explained that the river was a reflection of life itself, ever-changing, enduring, and flowing forward with a resilience that inspired awe. It was a source of sustenance, a place of gathering, and a keeper of secrets. The children who played in its shallows, the lovers who shared whispered dreams under the cover of its trees, and the elders who sought its solace all found a piece of themselves in the river's song. James's patch, rich in symbolism and beauty, was a meditation on life's journey, with the river as its metaphor. The boat's solitary occupant, guided by the currents, spoke to the personal voyages undertaken by all. Yet, this journey was not one of isolation. It was part of the river's grander narrative, intertwined with the lives of those who lived by its waters. As Abigail's storytelling came to a close, the villagers were left to reflect on their own connections to the river and, by extension, to each other. The river's story, like their own, was one of constant motion, of trials and tranquility, and of the relentless pursuit of the sea, the unknown future. The Quilt of Fortunes, with the river's journey patch now a part of its fabric, stood as a testament to the interconnectedness of life in Wealden. It was a reminder that the journey, with all its twists and turns, was not just about the destination but about the moments of beauty and challenge along the way. In the quiet that followed, with the villagers retired for the night and the stars watching overhead, Abigail continued her work on the quilt. Each stitch she added was a promise that the stories of Wealden, like the river, would continue to flow, shaping the land and its people forever onward. Chapter 6: The Midsummer Festival Patch. In the heart of summer, when the sun cast its longest shadow, and the air hummed with the vibrancy of life, Wealden was alight with anticipation for the Midsummer Festival. This annual celebration, a time when the community came together to honor the sun at its zenith and the earth in its fullest bloom, held a special place in the villagers' hearts. Among them was Lydia, a young woman whose soul was as deep as the river and as wide as the sky, known for her reflective nature and her ability to capture beauty in words and colors. For Lydia, the festival was not just an event, it embodied unity, a sacred moment where every heartbeat was in harmony with the earth's rhythm. As the preparations for the festival began, Lydia watched the village transform. Homes were adorned with garlands of flowers, their colors bright against the whitewashed walls. The air was filled with the scent of baking as ovens worked tirelessly to prepare the feast. The village square, the heart of the celebration, is burgeoned with life. Every corner is touched by the hands of those who brought their love and labor to the festival's altar. Inspired by the collective spirit, Lydia chose a piece of fabric that seemed to hold the light of the midsummer sun within its threads. This radiant golden yellow fabric became the canvas for her vision of the festival, a circle of villagers, hand in hand, encircling a bonfire that danced with the colors of flame. The figures, though simple, were imbued with a sense of motion and joy, their unity a testament to the bond that held the community together. The bonfire, stitched with red, orange, and yellow, was a beacon of light and warmth, its flames reaching upward as if to touch the stars that watched over them. On the day of the festival, the village square came alive in a way that mirrored Lydia's patch. Tables laden with the bounty of the season invited all to share in the abundance. Music, a blend of fiddles and flutes, filled the air, a call to dance that no one could resist. And at the center of it all was the bonfire, its flames a living sculpture, around which the villagers gathered, their faces illuminated by its glow. As night fell and the stars took their places in the velvet sky, Abigail began to weave the tale of the midsummer festival patch into the fabric of the evening. Her rich and warm voice drew the villagers into a circle around her, much like the figures on Lydia's patch. She spoke of the circle of villagers as a symbol of eternity, the cycle of seasons, and the unending journey they all shared. The bonfire, she explained, was not just a source of physical warmth, but a symbol of the inner light that burned within each of them, a light that, when shared, could banish any darkness. As Abigail told the story of Lydia's patch, the villagers saw themselves not just as participants in a festival but as part of a larger tapestry woven through time with threads of joy, sorrow, hope, and love. They understood that the Midsummer Festival was a reflection of life itself, a celebration of the moments that, when stitched together, formed the quilt of their existence. The festival ended, but the warmth of that night lingered in the hearts of those who had gathered. The Midsummer Festival patch, now a part of the Quilt of Fortunes, was more than just a piece of embroidery. It was a chapter in the ongoing story of Wealden, a story of unity, celebration, and the eternal dance of life. As the bonfire embers cooled and the first light of dawn touched the sky, the quilt lay in Abigail's home, each patch a reminder of the moments that bound the village together. Lydia's contribution, with its vibrant colors and depiction of unity, added a new layer of meaning to the quilt, a testament to the beauty of shared experiences and the enduring spirit of Wealden. Chapter 7: The Harvest Bounty Patch. As the season turned its pages from the lush narratives of summer to the rich, textured chapters of autumn, Wealden embraced the change with open arms and ready hearts. The air, now more relaxed and crisper, whispered tales of change, signaling the time for the village to come together to celebrate hard work and communal success, the harvest. Amid this seasonal transformation, Eleanor found herself deeply attuned to the rhythm of the land, her soul a conduit for the silent language of growth, decay, and rebirth that governed the natural world. This profound connection inspired her to make her mark on the Quilt of Fortunes, to weave into its fabric a narrative that captured the essence of this pivotal time. Eleanor's choice of fabric was a deliberate homage to the season, a canvas that bore the vibrant palette of autumn itself. Oranges that mirrored the pumpkins nestled in the fields, reds as deep as the apples that adorned the orchard trees, and yellows that reflected the golden hue of the ripened wheat. This backdrop became the stage for her vision of the harvest, a tableau vivant of the village immersed in gathering the fruits of their collective labor. She depicted the fields with threads of gold, creating waves that seemed to sway beneath an unseen breeze, while the figures of the villagers, rendered in simple yet expressive forms, bent and moved in a choreographed dance of harvest. Central to the scene was a table, a testament to the feast that awaited, laden with the abundance the earth had provided, symbolizing not just nourishment but the shared prosperity of the community. As the days of autumn unfolded, a tangible excitement wove through Wealden. The rhythm of daily life took on a new tempo, marked by the sounds of the harvest, the laughter and chatter of the villagers as they worked side by side in the fields, the playful shouts of children darting among the sheaves, and the steady snip-snip of shears as hands worked tirelessly to gather what the earth had offered. Each evening, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows and painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the village gathered to share in the bounty of the day, the warmth of shared meals binding them in anticipation of the colder months to come. On an evening kissed by the chill of the approaching winter, the villagers gathered around a fire that seemed to defy the cold, its flames leaping towards the sky, a beacon of light and warmth in the encroaching darkness. In the circle of its glow, it was here that Abigail began to unfold the story of Eleanor's harvest bounty patch. Her voice, a warm thread woven through the cooler air, painted a vivid picture of the harvest, of a community united in gratitude and purpose. She spoke of the laden table at the heart of the patch as more than just a piece of the scene. It was the heart of the celebration, a focal point where the lines between giving and receiving blurred, where stories and laughter were shared as freely as the meal. Through Abigail's storytelling, the narrative of Eleanor's patch came to life, reflecting the villagers themselves. They saw in her embroidery a depiction of their own lives, of the sweat on their brows and the dirt on their hands, of the joy in their laughter and the pride in their hearts. The feast, richly rendered in thread, became a symbol of their collective journey through the seasons, the cycle of life that they were all a part of, and the shared victories each season brought. As the night deepened and the fire dwindled to a warm glow, the villagers returned to their homes, their spirits enriched by the tales shared, and the sense of community reaffirmed. The quilt, now bearing the story of the harvest bounty patch, lay as a testament to the lifeblood of Wealden, a vibrant tapestry of the village's heartbeats, its seasons, and its people. It stood as a reminder of the enduring cycle of life, the beauty and resilience of the land, and the unbreakable bonds of community that, season after season, year after year, continued to weave the fabric of their collective existence ever more tightly together. Chapter 8: The Winter's Embrace Patch. In Wealden, as the season shifted from the vibrant tapestry of autumn to the solemn stillness of winter, the village didn't just brace against the cold, it embraced the change with a spirit of togetherness and resilience. This was when the community's heartbeat seemed to synchronize with the quieter rhythm of nature itself, a period for gathering close, reflecting on the year that had passed, and sharing the warmth of human connection. Among the villagers, Thomas, the village blacksmith, epitomized the warmth of this season, not only through the literal heat emanating from his forge but through the warmth of companionship he fostered. As winter's chill wrapped its fingers around Wealden, Thomas reflected on the essence of these colder months, the gatherings that brought the village together, sharing stories and warmth in the face of the biting cold. Inspired by the communal spirit that thrived even in the heart of winter, Thomas decided to contribute his own narrative to the Quilt of Fortunes, a piece that would capture the warmth of these gatherings. Selecting a fabric that mirrored the deep, mysterious blue of a winter's night sky, Thomas created his patch. His design was a vivid portrayal of a winter gathering at the village forge, with villagers drawn to the roaring hearth like moths to a flame. The scene he embroidered was alive with the vibrant oranges and yellows of firelight, casting a warm glow on the faces of those gathered around. Each figure was depicted in a stance of engagement or repose, some sharing tales that evoked laughter, others simply soaking in the camaraderie and warmth, their silhouettes a testament to the unspoken bond of community. With winter firmly settled over Wealden, the rhythm of daily life in the village took on a new cadence. The fields lay quiet under a blanket of snow, and the town seemed to huddle closer together, seeking warmth in unity. Thomas's forge became a central gathering point, its glow a beacon of warmth on the cold winter nights. Here, villagers found physical warmth and a sense of belonging and community. Night after night, they were drawn to the forge, where the simple act of sharing the fire's warmth evolved into evenings filled with stories, laughter, and the quiet, comforting presence of neighbors and friends. On one such night, when the cold air outside seemed to sharpen the stars in the clear winter sky, the villagers, bundled in their warmest cloaks, gathered around Thomas's forge. Amidst this backdrop of shared warmth, Abigail began to recount the story woven into Thomas's winter's embrace patch. Her voice, soft yet clear, filled the space with a narrative that transcended the mere act of gathering for warmth. She spoke of the hearth as the village's heart during winter, a source of light and hope in the season's darkest days, a reminder of the enduring human warmth that flourished even in the coldest times. Through Abigail's storytelling, Thomas's patch became a profound symbol of Wealden's winter spirit. It celebrated not only the physical warmth that the forge provided, but the more profound warmth of community and shared experience. With its lively dance of flames, the hearth stood as a beacon of resilience, illuminating the strength found in unity and the shared moments that defined the village's winter season. As the story unfolded, the villagers saw in Thomas's patch a reflection of their own winter experiences, the warmth of the forge, the joy of shared tales, and the comfort found in the company of fellow villagers. It was a poignant reminder that winter, with all its challenges, was also a time that brought the community closer, weaving the bonds of friendship and neighborliness tighter with each shared story and moment of warmth. With the addition of the Winter's Embrace patch, the Quilt of Fortunes grew richer in texture and meaning, capturing the essence of winter in Wealden. The quilt, a tapestry of the village's life and seasons, stood as a testament to the enduring spirit of its people, a vibrant mosaic of joy, labor, reflection, and communal warmth. As the night drew to a close and the villagers made their way home, hearts warmed by the evening's tales and company, the quilt remained a vivid testament to the season's beauty and the warmth of shared moments, a reminder of the enduring bonds that sustained Wealden through every season. Chapter 9: The Spring Renewal Patch. In the gentle thaw of early spring, Wealden awoke from its winter slumber, shedding the last remnants of frost as the village prepared to embrace the season of renewal. The once barren trees tentatively donned their first buds, and the ground, softened by the warmth of the returning sun, hinted at the emergence of early bloomers, eager to claim the first rays of light. This transformative period, a bridge between the cold introspection of winter and the lush abundance of summer, inspired Isabel, the village seamstress. Known for her artistry with fabric and thread, Isabel possessed a deep connection to the natural world, one that saw the beauty in every leaf and the promise in every seed. Spring, with its theme of renewal and growth, resonated deeply with her, stirring a desire to encapsulate this sense of communal rebirth and optimism in the Quilt of Fortunes. Isabel chose for her patch of fabric imbued with the verdant hues of spring's first flush, a canvas as alive as the meadow it sought to represent. Upon this backdrop, she embroidered a tableau vibrant with the activities that marked the season in Wealden. The scene was alive with villagers, their forms rendered in stitches of earthy browns and bright colors, engaged in the timeless dance of sewing and tending. In the center, a child, the embodiment of hope and future potential, carefully planted a sapling, symbolizing the community's investment in tomorrow. This central figure was surrounded by a flurry of activity, villagers tending to beds of flowers and vegetables, their movements a testament to the shared labor and dreams that bound the community together. As the mantle of winter receded, revealing the fertile earth beneath, the village pulsed with a renewed sense of purpose. The communal garden, long dormant under the snow, became a focal point of activity. Here, beneath the soft caress of the spring breeze, the villagers gathered, united by a common goal, to coax life from the earth, nurture, and grow. It was a collective endeavor, a mingling of effort and aspiration, where each seed planted was a promise made to the future, each sapling a testament to the cycle of life that the village revered. On a day when the air was filled with the scent of damp earth and the promise of rain, the garden teemed with life. Children darted among the rows, their laughter a bright counterpoint to the focused expressions of their elders. There was harmony in the scene, a rhythm dictated by the natural world, as advice was shared and stories of past springs were woven into the fabric of the day. Watching this tapestry of community unfold, Isabel felt a profound sense of belonging. The connection between the villagers and the land, the cycle of growth and renewal, mirrored the sentiments she sought to capture in her patch. In the evening, as the villagers gathered to celebrate the day's labor with a meal shared in the open air, Abigail took her place by the fire. With the quilt draped beside her, she began to recount the story of Isabel's spring renewal patch. Her narrative, infused with the season's freshness, painted a vivid picture of renewal, of a community coming together to plant the seeds of their future. The child at the center of Isabel's patch, carefully nurturing a sapling, became a symbol of hope, of the continuity of care and love that ensured the village's enduring connection to the earth and to each other. Through Abigail's storytelling, Isabel's patch blossomed into a reflection of Wealden's spirit in spring, a celebration of the communal joy of planting, the anticipation of growth, and the deep, shared hope for the future. The garden, alive with the promise of the coming harvest, stood as a testament to the village's resilience and the enduring cycle of life that inspired and sustained them each season. As the tale of the spring renewal patch unfolded, the villagers saw themselves within its narrative, their dedication to the land, their unity in labor and aspiration, and their collective moments of hope and renewal that defined the essence of spring. It was a poignant reminder that the beauty of the season lay not just in the blooming of flowers but in the coming together of the community, in the shared dreams and the labor of love that nurtured the promise of tomorrow. With the addition of Isabel's patch, the Quilt of Fortunes grew richer, weaving the vibrant tapestry of life in Wealden through the seasons. The quilt, a testament to the village's life cycle, stood as a vibrant mosaic of joy, labor, reflection, and communal hope, a reminder of the enduring bonds that sustained Wealden through every season, every challenge, and every pleasure. As the villagers returned to their homes, their hearts light with the promise of spring, the quilt remained a vivid emblem of the season's beauty and the enduring strength of the bonds that held Wealden together through every season, every challenge, and every joy. Chapter 10: The Midsummer Patch. The heart of Wealden, a village nestled amidst rolling hills and verdant fields, hummed with the anticipation of midsummer when daylight stretched its arms widest, bathing the land in an abundance of light and warmth. This cherished festival, rooted deep in the village's traditions, symbolized not just the peak of summer but also a celebration of community and the enduring cycle of life that the sun's journey across the sky represented. James, the village elder, with a lifetime of midsummers behind him and a deep reverence for the traditions that bound the community together, felt an intrinsic pull to weave his experience and understanding of this pivotal time into the Quilt of Fortunes. His aim was to encapsulate the essence of midsummer in Wealden, the joy, the unity, and the palpable sense of gratitude for the sun's nurturing embrace. For his contribution, James selected a fabric that seemed to radiate the warmth and golden glow of the midsummer sun. This choice of material was deliberate, aiming to capture the very essence of the season's light and warmth. Upon this vibrant canvas, he embroidered a scene alive with the festivities that marked midsummer in Wealden, a bonfire, its flames reaching skyward, serving as a beacon of light and warmth around which the villagers gathered. The figures around the fire were depicted in a dance, a joyful celebration of life and community spirit. Their movements mirror the vitality and energy that the summer season bestowed upon the land and its people. In the background, James detailed the lush fields and blooming gardens, a testament to the abundance that the longer days and the sun's watchful eye nurtured. As the day of the midsummer festival dawned, bright and clear, the village burst into a flurry of activity. Homes and pathways were adorned with garlands of flowers, their hues vibrant against the backdrop of green, while the air was filled with the mouth-watering scent of pies and bread baking in anticipation of the feast to come. The heart of the festivities, the communal bonfire, was prepared in the village square, and its construction was a collaborative effort that symbolized the unity and shared purpose of the villagers. With the sun setting, painting the sky in strokes of orange and pink, the villagers, dressed in their festive best, gathered around the bonfire. The lighting of the fire at dusk was a moment of reverence, a collective pause to honor the sun's life-giving energy. As the first flames licked the logs, the bonfire erupted into a towering column of light, around which the villagers began their dance, a physical manifestation of their joy and gratitude. James, watching the scene unfold, felt a profound connection to the cycle of seasons, to the traditions that had shaped the village's way of life, and to the future generations that would continue to honor these rites. In the midst of the celebration, Abigail began to recount the story of James's midsummer patch with the quilt laid out before her. Her narrative wove through the history and symbolism of midsummer, capturing the essence of the festival as a time of light, growth, and community. She spoke of the bonfire not just as a source of warmth, but as a symbol of the village's collective spirit, of the dance as an expression of vitality and the joy of life. The patch, with its vivid depiction of the festival, was a reminder of the importance of tradition, of coming together to celebrate the gifts of the earth, and of the strength found in the bonds of community. Through Abigail's storytelling, the midsummer patch came to life, encapsulating the spirit of summer in Wealden. It celebrated the warmth and radiance of the season, the joy of communal festivities, and the deep connection to the rhythms of nature that defined the village's way of life. The bonfire, with its vibrant flames, stood as a testament to the light that guides through the seasons, to the shared moments of celebration that define the essence of midsummer. As the story unfolded, the villagers saw their reflections in the narrative of the patch, their traditions, their celebrations, and their deep-rooted connection to the land and each other. It was a poignant reminder that midsummer was not just a celebration of the sun's peak, but a celebration of the community, of the shared journey through the seasons, and of the hope and light that each new midsummer brings. With the addition of James's patch, the Quilt of Fortunes grew richer in texture and meaning, capturing the essence of summer in Wealden. The quilt, now a tapestry of the village's life through the seasons, stood as a testament to the enduring spirit of its people, a vibrant mosaic of joy, labor, reflection, and communal celebration. As the midsummer night gently gave way to the soft light of dawn, the villagers returned to their homes, their hearts aglow with the warmth of the fire and the joy of shared celebration. The quilt remained a vivid testament to the beauty of the season and the enduring strength of the bonds that held Wealden together through every season, every challenge, and every joy, weaving the fabric of the community tighter with each passing